Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So this has been a rough couple weeks. It has been a draining couple of weeks, emotionally, mentally, and honestly, spiritually. If you aren't living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you are aware of the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, I think that's his last name, and the number of protests that has been happening. To be honest, I didn't even feel like doing my makeup. I didn't feel like making this video, only because I was just honestly thinking to myself, like, what is me posting a video gonna do to help? What is me wearing this t-shirt that says I can't breathe? What is that gonna help? What is me posting something using hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud, like what run with Ahmaud, like what is that gonna do to even fix it? I'm honestly hashtagged out. I did not think I was gonna start crying. Oh. My hope and prayer is that, you know, I don't have children, but, you know, when they do get here, I don't want to have that talk, not only with my son, but with my daughter too. Like, females aren't exempt. Black women aren't exempt from this. And I want to have children, but I don't. That's one conversation that I don't feel like having with them. I don't want to have with them, but I have to have with them. I'd rather have the birds and the bees conversation with them instead of this. Like, oh. Anyway, actually, I have nephews and nieces. And they're just babies. And to think that probably by age 10 or maybe younger, that they'll be viewed as adults or as a threat because they're brown or they're super tall and they have this deep voice at 12, and it's just, they're still children. And I'm believing and praying, and I know that it won't happen to them, but I'm pretty sure Ahmaud parents thought that it wouldn't happen to their son. I'm pretty sure George Floyd's family and Breonna Taylor's family and Trayvon Martin's family and Mike Brown's family just knew it wouldn't happen to theirs. But it did. Pray for those families. It's a really tough time. It's a heavy time. But the topic of this video is to how to manage your own mental health amidst all of what's going on, and when not only are we in a health pandemic, but we are in a social and racial pandemic. We have been in this pandemic for over 400 years. I've done research and I've taken notes in my phone, and also how I deal with it as well. So, and on top of that, I'm an empath. So if you're an empath, I'm pretty sure you can relate on the heavy feeling of what's going on. Like, I'm pretty sure people who aren't empaths, they feel the heaviness, but empaths is on a whole another level. I'm gonna tell you signs and little clues that you might be an empath. So, signs that you're an empath: you cry when you see other people crying. You feel physically drained after social events. You can't handle seeing people sad or seeing people in pain. You feel like secondhand embarrassment from other people. You are a good listener and you give good advice. You have a deep desire within to help others. Watching the news leaves you feeling sick and sad. You sense when something doesn't seem right. Like your discernment is through the roof. You pick up on someone's negative energy. You understand how others are feeling emotionally. I think when it hit me was when the death of Kobe Bryant happened. That's when I was like, okay, and I started doing my research and I realized I am an empath. And that hit me pretty deep. It was some days where I just woke up sad. I didn't know why. And then that's when I realized, okay, you might be an empath. And then this happens. And then on my last video, one of my last videos, I talked about feeling guilt for being okay. I think that's something empaths deal with because it's like, you know, you're fine, but all hell is breaking loose. And you feel bad for good things that are happening in your life while so many other crazy things are going on around you. It is okay. During this pandemic, God has really blessed me in many ways. I felt bad for it. But what I was able to do was to shift my focus and serve. What the resources God has given me, I can give to other people. So if you feel guilty for being okay, if you feel guilty for still being able to go on with everyday life, don't. Whatever resources you have, share those resources with people. But back to the topic at hand, I feel like God wants me to discuss a number of things. But how to maintain your mental health as an empath, the first thing I say is pray and ask God for wisdom on how to deal with the situation. Prayer is so important, or meditation, or however you do your thing. I pray. I say definitely pray or meditate and have times of silence, because there's so much noise around us. So I would say pray and read your word. Ask God, ask him to show you ways that he can use you. Open your word and just dive deep into that. Ask him to remove any guilt from your heart, from feeling like, you know, you're not doing enough or you can't do anything. Let me just put this out there and say this. Everyone is not meant to be on the front lines. Think of it as if we're this army, right? Everyone has specific jobs in that specific branch. And I know this because I have family members that's in the military. I have friends who are in the military. Of course, I'm thinking you just go to war if you're called to go to war. It's not like that. You have people who are in the Air Force who are nurses. You have people in the Air Force who are mechanics. You have people in the Air Force who do admin work. You have people in the Air Force who do production work. You have people, you have police officers in the Air Force. You have firemen in the Air Force. So, or whatever branch that you are a part of, there are so many different jobs. And not everyone is called to be on the field, right? So you need people back at camp to bring those soldiers who are on the front lines back, to help them, to nurse them, to feed them. You have commanders who are the pastors. Like, everyone has their role. You know, not meant to be on the front lines and protest. Okay, figure out ways to get out there. If you can give them water, if you can't do that, donate to, I know I'm gonna link all of the GoFundMe's and the Black Lives Matter website. Give ways that you can donate. If you like, I can't donate, I'm not working right now. I know YouTube has like a playlist. I'm gonna find the playlist and link it down below. But YouTube definitely has a playlist where if you watch the videos and let the ads go through, those proceeds go to Black Lives Matter movement. There are so many different ways that you can get involved without being out there on the front lines protesting and face to face with the police. Me personally, it was me face to face with 12, I would have an anxiety attack. So learn and be okay with staying in your lane. Some people pray. That's a fight right there, because this thing that we're going through right now, this is a spiritual warfare, honey. So we need prayer warriors and intercessors. Take your place. If you have the gift of serving, do that. If you have the gift of mercy, do that. There are so many different ways you can be involved. If you know people who are protesting, just call them and be like, yo, if you need to talk to me, if you need me to pray with you, I will do it. That's your way of fighting. Because I'm pretty sure those people who are on the front lines, the police officers who are actually protesting with the protesters, I'm pretty sure that they need all the prayer and help right now. Another way you can get involved is you can boycott companies who are not down with the movement and not down for the cause. Boycott certain companies who fund Donald Trump's campaign. And another way to make your voice heard and to fight is vote. Please, whatever you do, please go and register to vote. I don't care what you vote or who you vote for. Just do it and go vote. Back to my second point is be careful of what you intake and be careful of what you put out. With Corona, with Black Lives Matter, all of this is just everywhere. You cannot miss it. You see it when you're driving down the street. If you have been protesting in your city, or if there has been protests going on, you know, people have been vandalizing things and knocking down monuments. So just be careful and take time for yourself. If you need to get off of Instagram for a minute, not just Instagram, but Facebook. Facebook is the worst. Twitter, Snapchat, all of it. Just log out and delete the app, bro. There is such this bad stigma in the Black community about going to therapy. Those are one of my other points. I'll get to that later. Going to therapy, making sure your mental health is right. Also in the Black community, you know, well, you're not looking out for us. We are looking out for each other, but we are vessels. I said this on my Instagram post, that we are all vessels. And if we're going to put out and give, we have to pour into ourselves first. Or else we're just going to be empty. And what we give is just going to be dry. So please, please, please take care of yourself and your mental health. And just be aware of what you're intaking. So be careful of who you talk to, who you vent to, or who you get advice from. Sometimes you have to make it aware to people that you just want to vent. You don't want their unsolicited advice. You just want to vent to them. And if you are the person that is being vented to, then I advise that if you just can't take it, like if you are an empath, just be like, I need a break. Can you talk to somebody else? You have to take care of yourself during this time. That also ties into knowing what triggers you. For me, with this whole, first starting with Corona, what triggers me are the numbers and the death tolls. I don't want to hear it. What triggers me is the predictions and what they think is going to happen. But know what your triggers are, because it's hard. It's really hard. So just know your triggers with just anything in life, not just with Corona or Black Lives Matter. With anything, know what your triggers are and be aware of those and learn how to deal with them, because sometimes you're going to be triggered randomly, and I know for me it'll just mess up my whole day. You have to take your power back in knowing that you cannot allow that trigger to, one, control you, and two, take hold of your day. And I'm not gonna lie, with this racial pandemic, I really want to believe that each day we get closer and closer to it being over. But it's been 400 years. and I just simply don't know. And my faith in that area, but my faith in regards to Black Lives Matter, I just simply don't know. But what I do know is that one day, every knee shall bow before God. My prayer is when I feel very weak, I say, on earth as it is in heaven. That's a declaration. And it is okay with setting boundaries. It is okay with saying no. If you are protesting and you are physically, mentally, and emotionally drained, it is okay to say no. It is okay to take a break. If you simply don't want to talk about it, it is okay. And also do something that brings you joy. Do something that takes your mind off of it, because all of this, you can't shake it. You can't really avoid it. But, do something in your own time that brings you joy, that brings you peace, that brings you happiness, that brings you self-love and self-care. I know for me, I do my spa nights. I do it all the time. But when I'm going through a lot, or if I'm like super duper stressed out, it's okay to do that. And it just takes your mind off of it. Read self-help books in the meantime. Because you still have to go through with everyday life. You still got to pay your bills. You still have to take care of your kids, your spouse, yourself, or whatever it is. Take the time to do that. And take the time to actually do something for yourself. It is okay to do something for you. So that's the end of this video. I know it was all over the place. It was really emotional. Because I literally have no words. And for a minute, I didn't want to film because I was like, what is my video gonna do? I haven't protested. Actually, I felt guilty. My birthday was last Saturday. Well, my birthday was on June 6th. And that was the week where all hell broke loose in the city and all around the world. And I felt guilty for wanting to even celebrate my birthday. I felt guilty that my birthday fell that week. I felt bad because I wanted to have a photo shoot. But you know what though? It is nothing wrong with that. Celebrate the times that you can celebrate certain things. I read this scripture, and actually, let me find it. Okay, here it is. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 8. It says, the one who acquires good sense loves himself. One who safeguards understanding finds success. It is nothing wrong with loving yourself, loving on yourself, and taking care of yourself so you can help others. So that concludes this video. This took a lot out of me. It really did, but I'm okay. I just wanted to put this video out there. Also, I will be linking below ways that you can give and resources that you can be a part of to donate, volunteer, whatever it is that you feel led to do. There is a GoFundMe for Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, I think his daughter's name is Gianna or Gigi. They have a GoFundMe for his daughter. They also have one for Ahmaud Arbery. There is one for just simply Black Lives Matter. So I will link all of those resources down below. I will also link the Glam Twinz. They made a video discussing this, but they featured Black-owned brands in their video. And if you watch their video, because my videos doesn't get ads yet, and I don't incur AdSense yet, but their video does. So I'm going to link their video down below, so that way the ads that play in their video, that's your way, by watching their video, that's your way of contributing to the fund, to this cause. So I would definitely be doing that, being that my channel doesn't get ads yet. So I hope you guys have a blessed and great day. Please get out and vote, and not just for the whole country. Vote in your state, your county, your district, your city. Please vote. That is a big way for your voice to be heard. And just continue to pray. I love you guys. Stay safe, please. Rona is still out here. Sis cannot sit with us. Sis is not invited to the cookout. Okay, honey, she got to go. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.